Hey, it's Abby Norris back again with part 2 of the skeleton lab. So I'll be naming another 25 parts of the skeleton. That's not on the skull from the list. Guess had again nothing around me. My computer's turned backwards to prop my phone up like it is right now. Here's my list of words that I will be naming if the wind would stop blowing so kindly. Okay. There's nothing on the back of this sheet of paper other than these words. Alright, so I'm going to get started. First of all, we have the tibia and the fibula. The tibia is the big bone of the leg, while the fibula is this smaller bone. Next we have the patella, which is the kneecap, this bone that connects between or covers the top of the femur and kind of goes over the tibia. Did the patella. Next we have the femur, which is this big bone up here. Next we have the calcaneus, which is the heel bone right here. It forms the hip right down here, not the hip, the heel right down here. And the talus is next. The talus is superior to the calcaneus. So when you have the calcaneus here, you have the talus up here, and it's part of the ankle joint along with the fibula. Next, we have the ilium, ischium, and pubis. The ilium is this upper part of the pelvis. The ischium is, let me move his arms, right here, this back bone, this part of the pelvis. And the pubis is up here, right here, at the front of the pelvis. Those three bones form the pelvis. This is the pubis. Next, we have the radius and ulna. The radius is this bone right here, the one that goes to your thumb, while the ulna is this longer bone that goes to your pinky finger. Next we have the head of the femur and the neck of the femur. This is your femur, as I said earlier. This is the head right here in the hip socket right here. There's the head, and then this is the neck right here, right below the head. Next we have the acetabulum. The acetabulum forms part of the hip joint. It's right here. It's this little concave surface in the pelvis, and that's where obviously the head of the femur and the pelvis join to make the hip socket. That's called the acetabulum. The radial head is this part of the radius up here, this little flat part where the screw is. Next is the styloid process of the radius. It's this little pointy protuberance at the more distal end of the radius, right here. Next we have the greater and lesser trochanter of the femur. So again, here's the femur. This is the greater trochanter, this big little lump right here, and then the smaller one on the inside right around here, this is your lesser trochanter. Next we have tarsals, metatarsals, and phalanges of the feet. So here we have I'm going to turn them upside down, maybe a little bit easier than holding them. So right here we have our tarsal bones, these little bones right here. Next we have our metatarsals, these 5 longer bones. And then up here at the top of the feet, from right here up on all the feet. These are the phalanges. Next, we have carpals, metacarpals, and phalanges of the hands. So, I'll bend his wrist a little bit. Right here, we have our carpal bones. Right here are our metacarpal, these longer ones. And up top, these are a little longer than the feet. These are our phalanges. You have our proximal, intermediate, and distal phalanges on these, on the forefingers, whereas in the thumb only has 2. And the last 2 parts that I'm going to talk about is the scaphoid and the hamate. So on his hand, let's see if I can get it to turn out. Okay. So right here on his thumb, there are 8 bones of the hand. So not the more distal one, the more proximal one. Right here, this is your scaphoid. So like on a regular thumb, it would be down here. A good way to tell if that's fractured or not is if you can flex your hand, and you'll have something called an anatomical snuff box show up. Let's see if I can get it on my hand right there. If it shows up like that and you cannot see that little indentation in your hand, a lot of the times that's fractured or broken. I learned that when I broke mine. So that was the scaphoid. And the last one is the hamate, which is right here under your pinky and your ring finger. And it has a little hook of the hamate on it. This is that bone. So those are the 25 that I chose today. And thank you for listening.